The mysterious British TV host, director, and motorbike fan Henry Cole has long fascinated audiences. Cole has won over audiences with his outsized personality and passion for motorcycles on shows such as The Motorbike Show, Shed and Buried, Find It, Fix It, Flog It, and World's Greatest Motorcycle. However, there is an enthralling tale behind the scenes of the camera and the rumbling motors, packed with victories, defeats, and mysteries. How did Henry Cole's life experiences mold him into the man he is today? In this unsung narrative of romance, hardship, and redemption, we will delve into Henry Cole's life. Eaton alum Henry Cole has had a stellar 32-year career in cinema and television. Henry, who owns the television production business HCA Entertainment, is famous all over the world for his roles as TV hosts, where he gets to indulge his love of motorcycles and classic machinery. Among his many successful television shows are World's Greatest Motorcycle Rides, which airs on Travel ITV and Travel Channel around the world, Steve McQueen's Motorcycles, which airs on Channel 4, Find It, Fix It, Flog It, and more. Henry isn't only a presenter, he also runs HCA Entertainment, the production business that makes all of the shows in which he stars, as well as for networks like the BBC, ITV, Sky One, Channel 5, UKTV, Discovery, and Discovery Networks. The Actual Filth Warriors, Kensington Wives, Men Brewing Badly, Supersize Grime, The Skulls of Sanctuary, Frontline Stories, London's Greatest Hits, and Grime Warriors are just a few of these. Henry has directed more than 70 television advertisements for well-known businesses such as Amstrad, Flora, MasterCard, Top Up TV, Dixon's, and TfL. In addition, he has been involved in the direction and production of other TV shows and stage productions, such as Mad Dogs and Englishmen, which featured Elizabeth Hurley, C. Thomas Howell, and Joss Ackland, Dead Funny, which starred Elizabeth Pena and Andrew McCarthy, and Princess in Love, which starred Christopher Villiers and Julia Cox. But from whence did he initially begin? Henry Cole came from an artistic and storytelling household when he was born on February 16, 1965, in England. The family household was frequently graced with the enchantment of performance and art thanks to his mother, a gifted actor, and father, an accomplished documentary filmmaker. The foundation for Henry's later appreciation of the arts and his natural talent for storytelling were laid by these influences. He had an early love with mechanics and motorbikes while growing up in the picturesque Cotswolds, encircled by verdant scenery and seemingly endless twisting roads. In sharp contrast to the obstacles young Henry encountered in other parts of his life, these machines stood for independence and mastery. Henry had a difficult childhood despite what appeared to be a rich environment. Because he had trouble fitting into conventional educational paradigms, he fell academically behind his classmates. The intellectual uncertainty he felt was exacerbated by the impressive achievements of his parents. Henry felt overwhelmed by the great expectations set for him and frequently felt like he was always in their shadow. Even though his parents encouraged his creativity, their success unwittingly made him feel inadequate. Henry hid out in the mechanical realm to get away from all of these stresses. An obsession and a calling developed out of his love of restoring vintage motorbikes. Alongside therapeutic methods, he would squander a lot of time in the garage taking engines apart, studying their inner workings, and then reassembling them. Simultaneously, his interest in filmmaking flourished. In an early example of his future profession, he combined his two passions, filmmaking and riding motorcycles, by borrowing a camera from his dad and documenting his travels. But a darker chapter also arrived with adolescence. While Henry's drug and alcohol experiments started as a rebellion, they eventually became a coping mechanism for his fears as he matured. In his adolescence, what began as harmless experimenting rapidly became an addiction. He strives to carve out his own identity while also bearing the weight of familial expectations, which leads him to substance misuse. The previously calming realms of motorcycling and filmmaking were swallowed up by the mayhem of addiction. During this time, he faced the first of many challenges, both professionally and personally. A lifeline that Henry maintained through all of these hardships was his love of motorcycles. He maintained a steady sense of purpose even when things seemed bleakest, while fixing bikes and documenting his travels on film. As he continued to heal, these epiphanies would serve as stepping stones. The lessons he learned about perseverance, value, and following one's dreams during this challenging period would shape his professional trajectory and personal philosophy. These formative experiences are the foundation upon which Henry Cole's current charisma and audience engagement rest. His followers perceive in him more than simply a motorcyclist, they see a man who has overcome adversity to become more genuine and sincere. Success is seldom achieved on a straight path, but rather through a winding journey rich with lessons and growth, his story serves as a reminder of this. Henry Cole's fight with addiction is only one of many challenges that he has never been afraid to talk about. He was in his early 20s when his heroin addiction took hold, threatening to ruin his life's work. He was on the brink of self-destruction during this time, which he calls the darkest in his life. Caused friction in his relationships, estrangement from those he cared about, and the loss of potential professional prospects. Henry finds solace in narcotics despite his fears, which worsen his personal and professional struggles. Henry had a moment of deep introspection when he was down and out, and he had to decide whether to keep going down a destructive road or to take back his life. He decided to get assistance after coming to this realization, and that was the first step on the long and difficult path to recovery. It took tremendous bravery and a readiness to face the demons that had haunted him for years for him to enroll in a rehabilitation program. It was a challenging procedure. He had to show his determination through the mental and physical challenges of withdrawal. But it was at this period that Henry started to rediscover the things that had once brought him happiness and fulfillment. Two things that were always there for him, motorcycles and filmmaking, became his anchor. He found solace in restoring old motorcycles and filming their graceful lines because it allowed him to rediscover the joy of physical labor. These activities gave him purpose, while also diverting his attention from his desires. Henry started to put his life back together a little bit at a time. The garage became an escape for him, a place where he could focus on fixing up old machinery and, in the process, fix himself. On his own. After Henry beat his addiction, he realized he needed to tell his tale. He realized that his story may motivate people going through tough times. He now utilizes his fame to talk about mental health and addiction, encouraging people to get treatment when they need it and the power of rediscovering what makes them happy. Drawing on his personal experiences, he candidly discusses the stigma associated with addiction and the importance of compassion and understanding in order to provide hope to individuals who feel trapped. Henry's perseverance and resolve are demonstrated by his road to recovery. It has had an impact on his career as well as his personal life. His genuine enthusiasm for his subjects make his shows, like Shed and Buried in the Motorcycle Show, relatable and popular. Henry shows via his writings that getting well isn't always easy, but it's doable with hope, community, and determination. Even when confronted with overwhelming hardship, his narrative shows that it is possible to recover and even prosper. From his humble beginnings as a documentary filmmaker, Henry Cole rose to become a beloved television personality. Henry grew raised in an artistic family. Both of his parents were actors and filmmakers, so he was always exposed to stories. Working on music videos for famous artists catapulted him to stardom in the entertainment sector, such as U2 and the Rolling Stones. Not only did he gain significant experience from these projects, but he also honed his storytelling chops, which would come to characterize his film career. Henry yearned for a more intimate project that would allow him to combine his love of narrative with his passion for motorcycling, despite his success behind the camera. When the motorcycle exhibition first debuted, half historian, half enthusiast, and all adventurer, that was Henry, exactly reflected in the series. It was more than just a motorbike display, it was a jubilation of the art, history, and culture associated with motorbikes. The show swiftly gained a devoted fan base thanks to Henry's contagious energy and approachable character. Authenticity was the defining feature of the motorcycle display. Not only was Henry presenting, but he was also expressing what he loved most about life. Each episode included an engaging mix of educational content and enjoyment, with topics ranging from refurbishing vintage bikes to going on breathtaking road trips. Henry immersed his audience in his world through his storytelling, as if they had accompanied him on all of his adventures. With the success of the motorcycle program under his belt, Henry took a risk with Shed and Buried, a new series he co-hosted with other passionate bikers. Now that Henry and his crew were on the road again, they were searching the United Kingdom for long-lost automobile treasures. The emphasis changed from writing to discovery. The episode praised the excitement of finding something special, whether it was a rusty old bike in need of restoration or a rare vintage automobile with a fascinating history. A smashing success, it solidified Henry's position as one of Britain's most beloved TV personalities with its blend of humor, companionship, and touching moments. There have been challenges throughout Henry's journey, despite his achievements. Taking up roles in films meant stepping into the spotlight and subjecting oneself to intense criticism. Through the highs and lows of producing and sustaining the quality of his shows, he encountered financial difficulties. Furthermore, his fast-paced lifestyle, which involved shooting, restoration projects, and personal responsibilities, was physically demanding. Henry, though, showed remarkable resiliency throughout. The impact of Henry's devotion on his career is evident today. Unwavering resolve. His life and career serve as a cautionary tale about the perils of compromising your values and following your heart. From his time in front of and behind the camera, Henry's artistic path has been an inspiration to many, making a lasting impression on the motorcycling and television industries. Then, what was Henry Cole's actual fate? His course of action was altered. Although he's been tight-lipped about the specifics, new interviews hint that he rethought his life after a defining moment, a health concern, a personal tragedy, or both. This change has had a profound effect on his worldview, work, and audience engagement. Henry has changed his approach to his presentations, which is one of the most visible adjustments. A greater emphasis on mindfulness, family, and legacy has been noticed by fans. His more recent works place more emphasis on the contemplative and emotional aspects of his voyage, in contrast to his earlier works that praised the excitement of discovery and adventure. In addition to showcasing the stunning machines he adores, episodes frequently delve into the tales and personal relationships associated with them. Thanks to this development, his content is now more relatable, which attracts fans who value his candor and self-reflection. An additional noteworthy change in Henry's life is his growing engagement with charitable endeavors. His own struggle with addiction has given him the strength to utilize his celebrity to promote recovery programs and bring attention to the importance of mental health. He has shown his legions of admirers that it is possible to persevere and grow as a person despite overwhelming adversity by being very transparent about his challenges. To make sure that Henry's passion for writing has a beneficial effect on the community at large, he has championed motorcycle safety initiatives in addition to his addiction treatment efforts. People have also related to Henry's openness about getting older. He now recognizes the mental and physical toll that living an adventurous lifestyle takes on one's health, having established his business on such principles. Henry transforms this restriction into a chance to re-evaluate his definition of adventure and strike a better balance in his life. More time with loved ones may be in his future as a result of this. Taking pleasure in the simple things in life, like working on old bikes in his garage. His introspections show that seeking out new and exciting experiences isn't necessarily the key to success. Being grateful for what you have is another possible meaning. Viewers have grown to admire Henry's growth, both in his career as a TV personality and as a person dealing with the challenges of real life. His talent for opening up about his struggles and the lessons he's learned has made him more relatable to his fans. Henry speaks with the authority of someone who has lived, whether he is extolling the virtues of family, the delight of a beautifully repaired bike, or the significance of being present in the moment. What really transpired with Henry Cole appears to have been more of a process of personal development than a reaction to a particular incident. He's the type of guy who has overcome obstacles, grown, and learned the value of perspective. Inspiring others via his work and introspection, Henry shows that changing directions and discovering a more satisfying way forward is possible at any point in life. Henry Cole's influence on the television and motorcycle industries is immense. He has created a one-of-a-kind niche that combines enthusiasm, knowledge, and fun with his captivating storytelling, daring personality, and profound affection for vintage motorcycles. Over the years, his programs such as Shed and Buried and the Motorbike Show have brought joy to viewers and encouraged many to rekindle their interests, particularly in the world of classic motorcycles. Motorcycles go from being just tools to becoming artistic creations with stories to tell thanks to his talent for capturing their culture, history, and beauty. His candor on his own hardships is one of the most remarkable features of Henry's impact. He has broken down boundaries and helped decrease the stigma surrounding addiction, mental health, and life's hardships through his open comments. Henry has become an accessible character by opening up about his worst moments, proving that it is possible to bounce back from adversity. Many people find motivation in his narrative, which shows that following one's dreams and never giving up can lead to better times. Henry is starting a new chapter in his life, and he has teased a number of interesting projects that will solidify his reputation. His much-anticipated memoir, which will explore his life's journey in greater detail, is one of them. From his humble beginnings in the Cotswolds to his struggles with substance abuse and his eventual ascent to fame as a popular TV host. An personal glimpse at the guy behind the camera, with insights into the situations that have created his distinct perspective, is what fans can expect to find in this memoir. On top of that, Henry has dropped hints about a potential new series that delves into the global cultural importance of motorbikes. Exploring bikes as emblems of liberation, rebellion, and camaraderie throughout cultures, this project seeks to move beyond their just aesthetic and functional elements. In addition to showcasing the worldwide motorcycling culture, this kind of series would bring attention to the fact that adventure and connection are international languages. Henry has shown remarkable resilience and creativity in the face of adversity. He has remained faithful to his fundamental interests while undergoing constant personal and professional development. Whether Henry is exploring a dusty shed for buried riches or riding across the country, his genuine passion and sense of adventure are always present. No matter what the future brings Henry Cole, his journey is far from finished. Henry remains an influence in the world of motorcycling and beyond, with new initiatives in the works and a legacy of inspiration behind him. The obstacles we face in life are not the end, as his narrative shows. Opportunities to change directions and discover new paths are all they are. The life of Henry Cole is an inspiring tale of tenacity, dedication, and change. Despite facing his demons, he emerged as a hero to motorcyclists everywhere. That despite setbacks, life can ultimately bring about profound maturation and meaning. Henry is always genuine and full of adventure, whether he's fixing up old bikes, telling tales on TV, or interacting with fans all over the world. Looking towards uncharted territories, he sees just one thing. His adventure has made an everlasting impression, and what lies ahead is brimming with potential.